When I was 22 years old, I started getting a bullseye rash on my body. It would come and go in different parts of my body, and the itching was terrible. I was so embarrassed by the looks I would get from people when the rash was noticeable. I finally made an appointment with a doctor, and little did I know I would be on a journey for a diagnosis. All through my 20s, I was sent from doctor to doctor, trying to get answers. None of them seemed to know what was going on. My health started declining. It took everything I had to get out of bed to go to work. It got so bad I had to cut my hours at work. One doctor diagnosed me with lupus, another with multiple sclerosis. I was at my wit's end. I must have seen 20 or more doctors. A lot of them just said, "Oh, you're depressed," or "You're just stressed out," because they didn't have anything else to tell me. So many meds were hard to keep up with having to take, and the side effects were grueling. But I kept taking them as subscribed, hoping that one day they would start to help me. I would cry and pray myself to sleep, asking God for answers. As my symptoms got worse and I kept getting new ones, I couldn't give up. I had a daughter to raise, and I had to be strong for her. I started getting tremors and sleep paralysis on top of the fatigue. I kept going to doctors for answers and kept pushing myself, even though I felt like giving up. In 2011, my sister came to live with me. She helped with housework and saw what I was going through with my health. She would get on the internet and try to find some answers for me. One day while I was sleeping, she abruptly woke me up and said, "Terry, you need to get tested for Lyme disease." The only thing I knew about Lyme disease was that you had to have gotten bitten by a tick, and I never recalled being bitten. At my desperation, I made another doctor's appointment and asked to be tested. Weeks later, the results were in, and sure enough, I had Lyme disease. I felt so happy I finally had an answer. I thought my life would be finally normal. I felt a big weight lifted off me. Once diagnosed, I researched and found out that Lyme disease doesn't have a simple treatment for people who have had it for so long. There weren't even many doctors that treated it, but thankfully there was one in the city I lived in. It took 3 months to get in to see the specialist, but I was happy to wait. Finally, I got in and immediately started treatment. Since it took me too many years to get diagnosed, I have chronic Lyme disease. It has gotten into my nervous system. Thank God it's 90% in remission, and I only get tremors sometimes and have a little fatigue. I believe God works in mysterious ways, and having my sister coming to live with me was His will. I believe He used her to find an answer to what I was going through. I now work full-time and am going to school. I never thought I would be able to live a normal life, but here I am, working, going to school, and living my best life.